Ancestry's new feature, MyTreeTags, is out of beta, and that means all of us can take advantage of this tool that can help us filter our tree according to themes or research status. But the blessing can soon become a curse if we're not all on the same page. Let's talk about that next. Howdy! I'm Devin Noel Lee with Family History Fanatics, where we try to help you keep the fun in family history by understanding genetic genealogy, helping you climb that family tree, and make sure that you capture and preserve your memories along the way. So in a previous video, I talked about MyTreeTags and the good, the bad, and the ugly of this new service. I really do like it and think it has possibilities. What do all of those tags mean, and how can we all work together to tag our tree the most effectively? As I stated in a previous video, not everybody is taking advantage of MyTreeTags, and it's not as visible as I would like it to be. But what if we all began understanding what the tags were, so that when you come across my tree and I stumble across yours, we both speak the same tag language? To begin understanding MyTreeTags, let's hop on to my tree to someone I haven't tagged yet. In this case, we're going to go to Martha Gordon. When we click on Martha, you can see that she is my second great-grandmother, and then right next to my relationship, there's this opportunity to add a tag. When your workspace pops up, we have all of these available tags. All I have to do in order to add a tag to a person is click on that terminology. And then if I don't want it in the future, I can click on View Save Tags and then go ahead and hit the X to make it disappear. The other thing I want you to point out to you before we start going through the tags is the little question mark. This is a help field. It is designed to help us know, what do these tags mean? We'll come back to that in a little bit. And we have what are called universal tags. And I put it in air quotes because they should be universal, but you'll soon realize why some of them are universal and some of them not so much. Let's start with the tags that are the easiest to understand. Research tags. If you are actively researching someone, like you really are actively searching out hints and strategies and stories and records for this person, then go ahead and attach that to your tree. You are not actively researching 10,000 names on your tree. It's impossible. So only tag the people that you are most interested in right now. And then if it changes, remember, then you can switch that off. What is a brick wall ancestor? A brick wall ancestor is if you had taken that person as far back as you can go, but you're not having any further success. That is your brick wall. It's nice to flag those because when you filter, like we said in a previous video, you can quickly get to your brick walls and start working on them again. Or if somebody comes to your tree and sees that you have them as a brick wall, either they can collaborate on that same person and provide you new information, or they know they'll be stuck as well. Now, remember, these tags are supposed to be universal. The next one isn't very universal. Complete. What does complete mean to you? Let me know in the comment section. To me, complete means I've researched all I can research. There's nothing more to use. What does Ancestry say? Ancestry says, I am confident that I have executed thorough searches to help answer my question. That sounds very similar to how I think of complete. Now, other people who have taught about how to use MyTreeTags say that complete to them means I don't want to research them anymore. Well, wouldn't that really be inactively researching? Meaning, I really don't care about this line. I'm kind of ignoring this line. So we need to use the terms as they're intended in the tree. Now, the other problem with complete is that you have verified. The complete definition, I'm confident that I've executed these searches, sounds a lot like the definition verified. I've done my best to verify the facts of the ancestor's life. Doesn't that sound the same? So why do you need both? It creates more confusion. And for genealogists who seek after a genealogy proof standard, this becomes confusing. So I would love if we could have complete, if it's meant to be, I'm not really actively researching this person, have a label that says inactive researching or actively ignoring. That would be kind of fun, but not have complete and verified. The other problem with verified and unverified is that in Andy's mind, verified means that you have had somebody peer review your research. Kind of like the videos that I've talked about before, the importance of peer reviewing someone else's trees. To him, verified means peer-reviewed research. So, what's the strategy? The strategy is try to rely on the definitions that are provided here on Ancestry so that we're all using the tags in the same way. And then maybe we need to use the feedback form to tell Ancestry, you have some terms that are just too similar. The one tag that I really like, in addition to actively researching and brick walls, is hypothesis. Although hypothesis and unverified are very similar. Watch. So hypothesis, testing a theory to see if it works with the tree in a tree context or the DNA evidence. And verified, I've heard this information or saw somewhere but haven't done anything to prove it. Doesn't it sound the same? So maybe this time less is more. I do like hypothesis so that you can mark it as this is a theory, I'm just trying to figure it out. It's not verified. Don't take it as the gospel truth. So, research status tags. They're easy to understand, and yet they're confusing right now. So let's start talking about relationship tags. Relationship tags are really useful, and yet confusing at the time of recording this video. So when you tag someone, that person is tagged on your tree. So if Martha was adopted, I can tag adopted into this family or out of this family. Unfortunately, the into and out of part becomes very confusing on the tree. I would just really like to have adopted and let it go. Now, bonus tip. Let's say you do have an adopted person in your tree. You go up here to edit relationships. This is where you change the adopted, because then when that person shows up on the family tree, when they are in the profile with the biological family, they will be biological. When they show up in the family where they're adopted, they'll have a tag that says they're adopted. I don't mind the tags adopted, but it would really be nice if we just had one tag rather than both. Now, in a previous video, we talked about how people used to name fields to put no child, died young, no issue, all of these things. This is where you can put that information. Let's say that Martha died young. It's not true, I'll take it off in a minute, but I can put died young. Universal, easy to understand. Let's say this is a direct ancestor, because some people like to see this is my direct line and keep that separated for your collateral lines. You can go ahead and put direct ancestor on there. Multiple spouses. And my husband often says, why would that matter? Wouldn't it show up here, multiple spouses? Let me go find someone who has multiple spouses really quickly. So this is one of my direct line ancestors, Andrew Nelson Smith, and he has multiple spouses. So I could tag him as having multiple spouses. What is the advantage of that? Now, I don't believe in having a tree of 50,000 people. If I want to have a tree of 50,000 people, I'll go use family search, because invariably I'm only working on 2,000 people or less. So the beauty of having multiple spouses here is, let's say that Marietta is not my direct line. She's the stepmother. I could come in here and delete her out of the tree, and then when I see multiple spouses, It tells me, hey, you've got the parents, you have the spouse, you have the child that you are directly descended from, but he has additional wives, and you can either go find them on Ancestry and add them back in, or you can go over to a platform like Family Search, and then it's a one world tree, and you can go visit the relatives over there. So that's one of the advantages of multiple spouses. But I really like the definition of multiple spouses that Ancestry adds. The person had either multiple consecutive or concurrent spouses. So this could be polygamy. It could be someone who's not obeying the law. He has multiple, or she has multiple spouses, and people don't actually, the two families don't know that that's taking place. But it could also be divorcees, and it could be widowers who married multiple times. So if you wanted to say multiple spouses and then add polygamous relationship or divorcees, then you would have to go up here and create a custom tag. But you can also add never married, no children, and orphaned. Very self-explanatory. I really like your relationship tags, even though the adopted one I'm not a big fan of as it currently stands. As far as universal tags go with life experience tags, Ancestry hasn't given us very many. But these are generated on commonly appearing demarcations users have used in order to label their tree. It comes back to those flags and flowers from the previous video I mentioned. So if Martha was an immigrant, I can tag her as an immigrant. Universal, we all understand what that means. If Martha served in the military, I can go ahead and say she served in the military. She didn't, but what would happen if she was with the WAC, the Women's Air Corps? Or what if she was in the Navy or the Coast Guard? Well, then I'd have to come up here and create a custom tag in order to differentiate the branches of service. And then, of course, we have royalty and nobility, and that is self-explanatory. But then we come to probably the most confusing tags there are. And these are our DNA tags. Now, personally, I find the DNA tags far more confusing than another tool, the color coding available on your DNA match list. Let me show you really quickly what I'm talking about. So very quickly, we're over here on my DNA match list, and you can see that I've added some of these color coding dots. And these dots mean that these people are related to me down these lines. I'll have a video about using surname tables to color code your family tree in the future, but for now, it's so much easier to come in here and use these color codes to differentiate my ancestors that are genetically related to me and how they are related to me. Now, I know Ancestry is trying to get the tools to have people are being creative with how they label their ancestors on the tree side of things rather than the DNA match side of things, a way to converge. But this is when we get into problems. The universal tags in the DNA section are a bit of a misnomer. They are universal in terms of we can all kind of understand what those terms mean, but remember when we start searching each other's trees, the common ancestor isn't going to be common. They will be common for you, and your DNA matches will be common for you, but it won't really go across trees really easily. So what do these terms mean? Well, according to Ancestry, your DNA match is anybody on your match list. So these are probably going to be living people and sometimes recently departed individuals. They're not going to generally be, at least this is the way Ancestry explained it, they're not going to be people all the way up your tree. The next group you have are your common DNA ancestors. Maybe these are your brick walls or the end of your lines or the people that your matches typically connect into. Martha is one of those common DNA ancestors, but there's people right above her. So which one should I tag as common, Martha or her parents? So when it comes to MyTreeTags on Ancestry.com, They can really be a lot of fun, and they can help your research by helping you filter to ancestors with very common traits or similar traits, and you can narrow down to them quickly or jump to particular spots in your research. But let's go ahead and recognize that there are a couple of problems. There really is a lack of universal terminology. Remember, verified and complete. Ancestry tries to tell you what they are, but their terms are too similar, and people are applying those terms dissimilarly, which is going to create more confusion in the future. So what are some best practices? Use the universal tags as they are intended. So look at the pop-ups from the question marks beside the tags and make your choices based on that. That's a good fit. Only create useful, common, custom tags. So again, you wouldn't put beauty pageant queen unless you have a lot of beauty pageant queens. Use something that's going to be applicable to a lot of people in your tree, but not everybody. So something like Civil War veteran, American Revolution veteran, or people from a particular town that you want to filter to very quickly. What questions do you still have about MyTreeTags? Do you find that you have the right kinds of tags? Are you using them in a way you're not sure if it makes any sense? Are you just as confused about how to apply the DNA tags? Let me know, let's have a conversation, and maybe we all can develop a lot of best practices on the platform. Thank you so much. If you have any further questions, I'm Devin Noel Lee with Family History Fanatics. We want to help you have fun in climbing your family tree. And most of our videos come from questions from viewers like you. So get a hold of us using the information in the description or dropping a comment in any of our videos.